Now we're going to turn to David Weaver, another longtime friend. Geez, I've known David for what, 20 years, David?
Something like that.
Something
Yeah.
like that. Yeah. So I know you came in early to kind of hear what everybody had to say. So I assume you probably agree with what Ara and Skip had to say about private equity finance and how it works.
Yeah, Michigan is extremely conservative compared to other parts of the country, which is it's good for investors, but it's not easy for companies raising capital because we don't make a decision as easily as other parts of the country do, which are normally seeing a lot of deals, so they're more comfortable looking at deals, and our folks are not. But it's getting better. Every year it's getting better.
And I should mention that Skip, I don't know his correct title, but I know he's with CitySide Ventures. What's your title with CitySide Ventures?
Myself, yes.
Yeah. No, I say
Skip.
CitySide Ventures. And I'm trying to remember, are you the director or? Okay.
No, Chief Investment Officer.
Chief
CitySide
Investment. I knew there was a title in
Yeah.
there and I was reaching for
Yeah,
it. So.
yeah. No, we have two different entities that are available for funding early stage companies, which is all we do. CitySide is a management arm of that. So we have Birmingham Angels that was started in September, looking at deals of 2019, and through that year in 2020, the deals were all pretty much Zoom, and obviously this year as well. By the end of this year, we expect we'll probably have close to 30 deals that we've invested in, and close to $2 million collectively over that period of time. So if you add that up to the number of months, it's almost one deal a month. And we only meet normally like 10 times a year. We skip August and December for deal flow typically. So we're very excited. We got a very active group of investors. We're hoping early next year we'll be able to announce the launch of the Great Lakes Angels Fund. It'll be a $10 million fund we'll be managing as well for investors to participate in versus selecting your own deal when you're in the fund like Skip has with his Michigan Angel Fund. The fund picks all the deals and you're in 30, 40 deals over the life of fund without having to lift a finger other than getting your capital into play through the fund. So we're very excited and we see a lot of potential. Most of our deals are here based in Michigan. We do some investing outside the state. We've got some deals sent from Techstars in Toronto. We've done a couple of deals from Israel as well, in other parts of the country, but again, mostly Michigan based. And we look at anything anywhere in the state for sure. Our investors also are getting scattered around the state more because with everybody doing these deals virtually, you don't have to travel necessarily. And somebody could be in the UP or other parts of the state of Michigan and participate in any one of the intergroups. We're open to all the groups. So it's an exciting time. I wanted to put a little perspective on some things we talked about in Michigan, but we didn't really relate it to nationwide. So I pulled some stats off the Angel Capital Association. As you might recall, Mike, I started the first group in Michigan in 2002.
Great Lakes Angels, yeah.
Right. Yeah. And now that's in the process of becoming a fund. And so the Angel Capital Association was formed about 2005, I think, something like that, a couple years after I started. Most of the deals nationwide have been with less than 2.5 million for valuation. So they're looking at smaller deals, early stage deals, less than 2.5. In 2020, most of the deals were fintech. And then next was clean and green deals. And after that was retail. And after that was advanced manufacturing. So they're all over the map, as you would expect with angel groups. And historically, the deals nationwide are about 50-50 between convertible debt and price rounds. That's about the same with our angel group. Unlike Skip, which require C corporations, we will look at LLCs. The majority of our startup companies have not formed a C or an S corp yet, so they're LLCs. We're glad to do that. And the majority of our companies are pre-revenue. That would be the same with the fund as Birmingham Angels when they get started. And so the growth nationwide has been tremendous with angel groups around the country and the state now. We have, I think we got like 16 groups around the state, and 10 of them are active, meeting on a regular basis, which is good. We need to get more groups, have large build of mass. I think, as Skip pointed out, we need more accredited investors scattered around the state to get active in this asset class. It's a great way to not only make a good return, but also help build jobs and keep the wealth in the state here, keep those companies here. I had a couple other facts here. Yeah, on December 14th, I don't have the link ready yet, but we are having a kind of a deal tank in the afternoon on the 14th. They'll be open to investors and entrepreneurs that they want to listen to some of these deals and kind of get a comparison of their competition, how people are pitching, stuff like that. I'll have a link I can send to you later. Hopefully I'll be able to post it. And also at the end of the afternoon, we'll have an introduction to Birmingham Angels for people who want to learn about angel investing, whether it's Birmingham Angels or not. Just learn a little bit more about that asset class and participate in it.
Now, I believe you guys are also working with the Grand Angels in the the Angel Network that they've created. Is that correct, or am I wrong on that?
No, the network they have is independent of ourselves. We syndicate deals with each other, both directions. You know.
Okay, I was reading starting another publication, and I thought they mentioned Birmingham Angels as being affiliated with that group, but maybe I'm wrong on that.
No, we're independent. No, they have Flint, Kalamazoo, and the Angel Group in Detroit, Woodward Angels, and of course back in Grand Rapids, Grand Angels. Yeah,
I'm real familiar with them. I lived over there for a long time, and I knew a lot of the original founders of that group. So, and of course, that group over there in particular is like old Grand Rapids, old West Michigan money people, third, fourth generation money people, and they tend to be a lot more conservative than some of the other angel groups I've dealt with around the state. But they stay within their lane as to what they know, right?
Yeah, what works is important. We're very happy. We're right downtown Birmingham here in Oakland County. There's a lot of wealth in Southeast Michigan. We'd love to have more folks get more active in it because the deal flow comes from all over the state. It doesn't have to be just Southeast Michigan companies in getting funded. And there's a lot of opportunities we're seeing nationwide. Even in Michigan, there's more early stage companies getting funded that are minority and female-led companies in the way CEOs, which is exciting. They've been underrepresented in the past, but they get more visibility and they're getting funded.
Yeah. Now, you were talking about different categories nationally, but for you guys, what do you like to invest in particular?
We're looking at SaaS, B2B and B2C type of things. We like wearable technology. We like agri-tech. We do some mobility investments, but obviously it's around the spot here in Southeast Michigan, so we have a lot of exposure to that. Some medical, life science, med tech companies. And we like, even in the intelligent commerce area, we've got a couple investments in that. A lot of things are happening on the web with shopping, ways to facilitate that and make it much easier for the shopper, and also bring more revenue to the business as well with the new technology that's available to them. Help them direct to things that they're missing that they should be buying. And,
you gotta love AI, right? AI is everywhere. I'm sitting here with my Alexa device on my desk turned off, so because if I mention her name, she'll wake up, right? So same thing. Yeah, I mean, you've been doing this for a long time. What sort of trends do you see here? I mean, we were both covering this in the 90s when there really wasn't much going on, but I wouldn't say that we're where we'd like to be yet, but we've come a long ways in the last 25 years, right?
Absolutely. As represented by a number of groups around the state, when I was just one for like a couple of years, people came and saw what we were doing, said we want to do back in our area, like Grand Rapids and Ann Arbor and Kalamazoo and stuff like that. So it's more people get exposed to this. They might form their own group or take advantage of a group that's already there. The groups that really do the best are the ones that do the back room for everybody. When I started Great Lakes Angels, I didn't do the back room, help on the due diligence, stuff like that with the companies. And some of our companies that we got ready and I really liked went elsewhere in the state where that was done and they got the funding. So we're doing the back room now for both Birmingham Angels and the Great Lakes Angels Fund. It makes it much easier for the investors to get a nice due diligence package, read on the company, can see the videos with Zoom. That stuff can be saved on a platform so they can look at the video later in case they missed a meeting. They can still see what's going on, how they presented. So that's been a real big help. And I think more people are looking at deals because of accessibility and convenience on Zoom than having to drive to a meeting. So in some cases, you have more attendance in these things, especially as we get ready to have winter months here with snow. Somebody might say, I'm going to go to that meeting, then forget it now. It's too much trouble to drive in all that traffic. And you might have more attendance at some of these meetings by Zoom. We're hoping that we'll get back to face-to-face meetings and maybe a hybrid with Zoom and face-to-face soon.
Yeah, I mean, certainly the pandemic has changed everything in every industry. I get all the surveys and reports all the time crossing my desk, and the remote workforce thing, people really love it. Having done both, I mean, I was a newspaper man for 20 years, stuck in a cubicle. So that was like we were right on top of each other. And then, of course, being my own boss here for the last 20 years, where I essentially have been a remote worker, I see the benefits of both. There needs to be a hybrid in between because sometimes you need that human interaction face to face because you can only get so much out of streaming video, right?
And for entrepreneurs out there, is a lot more accessibility now to get help. And when I first started the first group, people were saying, how do you find these angels? But now they're available. If you go to the Michigan website for Spark, they'll direct you to where you can find your angel groups around the state. And we're hoping to champion a ability where once a month right now, we share deals across the state. Skip helps us all get on a call together and look at deals we're looking at. We're finding a lot of the deals we're looking at, somebody else in the state is looking at the same deal. And we're saying, hey, why don't we all look at the beginning one time at the same deal, and then we can share the due diligence much faster than making the poor company traipse all around the state meeting with everybody for the same deal. Come on.
It's like
once a month, everybody look at the deals they like and then make a decision, then syndicate the deals and get the company in the money so that they can execute. Stop chasing the money.
Yeah, it's kind of like I can't tell you how many times I've seen the same entrepreneurs presenting to different groups with the same pitch. There's got to be a more efficient way to do it because it's got to be tough on the entrepreneurs too, right?
Yeah, we have our own platform we're willing to share with everybody in the state called Sidebitch. If you go on that platform, we can share the due diligence with everybody in the state, close on the deals, even cooperate on the due diligence with somebody else. You know, subject matter expert in a certain area, and they can log on, add their comments, and it'd be helpful to everybody when they're trying to close a round.
Sure. Finally, before we close here, what are some of your words of advice for startup entrepreneurs that still may be in the, either bootstrapping or the friends and family stage, but they want to move into angel investing? What would be some of your tips that you would provide?
Make sure you've got validation from a large number of people that you have a solution that is needed and that there's value that people would pay for it, whether it's a product or a service. Go get a large sample on that you can show. We went to 50, 100 plus people, told them what our solution is, we're coming up with, and they agreed if this was available, they would adopt it. You need to make sure yourself before you dive into this thing and start bringing outside money into it. And people you own, they own you now because they're your partners in your business. So make sure you know what you're doing. It's okay to pivot after you get out there and you find out, okay, we need to tweak it a little bit here because we learn more once we got it out and people tried what our product and service was. But make sure that you got a valid solution and it's global in nature. we're all looking for an exit. We want you to be successful and be attracted to somebody so they can acquire you, and that's our cash back.
Yeah, absolutely. People seem to, this isn't a lifetime marriage kind of thing. Investors are getting in, they hope to get out within what, 3 to 5 years, typically, something
Right.
of that nature.
Yep. Yes. Very good.
Okay, Dave. So if people want to get more information about CitySide Ventures, Birmingham Angels, all the other groups you're working with, how can they do that?
Also, the event on the 14th.
Oh, and the event on the 14th as well.
Yeah.
Yes. Go ahead.
Just send me an email to dweaver@CitySideVentures.com. I stuck it in the chat box there as well. So feel free to reach out. I'm glad to connect you with our schedule, let you know what's going on, where to send us deals if you're interested in getting us involved in investing.